So that finished Liverpool 5, West Ham 1, and I've got to say, probably one of the most diabolical performances I've watched, ever as a West Ham fan, actually. Really, really disgusted with that. No excuses from the manager, no excuses from the players. I just thought that it was just such a lackluster performance. It had no fight. There was just no desire, no hunger. There was no... That was a quarter-final in a cup, and in a season where we're not threatened by relegation. Do you know what I mean? Really, we're safe. We'll be all right this season. You know, Europe's wrapped up now till March. I can't work it out. I really can't. I'm really struggling to understand what the game plan was there, other than just to throw the game, because that's how it felt like. The lineup was so poor, wasn't it? Really, really bad. And I don't think there's any excuses for it. I mean, when you look back to the Fulham game, which you'll see over a week ago now, and we responded well to that. Obviously, we had put in a couple of decent performances recently, which gave me hope that I thought we'd do the same against Liverpool. I thought that was a good opportunity for us, especially the fact Liverpool resting players. You know what I mean? It's a great opportunity for West Ham. But you see that lineup and you see those bloody names on that sheet again, and you just think, how on earth are they in the team? I'm talking about Pablo Fornals. I mean, I'm just sick of seeing the guy now. And I hate saying that because I like Pablo. He's been a good player for us over the years, but he's just gone, and he's gone. His head's gone. He ain't interested. Ben Rama was awful. Just really bad. I've got nothing to say really today. I feel really deflated, like we all do. Really, really, like nothing positive to say. I mean, you know, nothing. I can't really put a positive spin on any of it. The only I've just done my notes here before for the game last night, and trying to. It's hard to even pick anything out. Honestly, anything out that make you go, yeah, all right, that was one sort of bit of light out of it. I mean, but Ben Johnson, I want to say, you know, all right, look, he put a bit of effort in it. And I think he did. I think deep down, at least he looked like he was giving it a bit of a go. He looked like he was trying to make things happen at least. But I blame him for the first goal, him and Ben Rama. He didn't want to close down the goal scorer when I can't remember his name and he hit from a distance. I'm so deflated with it. I can't even really be, bothered to. I'm not going to go through the game. I'm so flat because of it. At the end of the day, right, Liverpool wanted to win that game and we didn't. We weren't interested. We literally... why doesn't he play the academy players? If that's your attitude, if your attitude is, right, I'm going to rest my players. I want to just keep them fresh for the league, because that's clearly what he's done. He clearly thought to himself, I've got Man United on Saturday. That's my priority over Liverpool, which I don't get. Don't understand it. I think West Ham fans, I mean, I don't know about you, right? I'd like to hear your thoughts on this, but I would have rather us lose to Man United on Saturday and then beating Liverpool. Much rather that. And I'm pretty sure everyone would agree with that, because I understand why would, a great opportunity to get into a semi-final or a League Cup, and with Fulham, Middlesbrough and Chelsea waiting, we'd have been one of the favourites. But no, we didn't. And what was the game plan? Anyway, so let's put that into perspective. Even if you're saying, right, okay, I'm going to rest some of my key players, these are the players I'm going to put out. I mean, the selection was shocking. It was absolutely fucking shit, actually. What was the game plan then? Tell me what the game plan was, because it was just like kids playing football. It was like a pub team. Do you know what I mean? Just going out, there was no tactics. There was no, this is what we're going to do. And we just sat off. We just sat off. They were cutting through us. I mean, our midfield, Thomas Souček was atrociously bad. Awful. He's not a defensive midfielder, so we can't. It's just not. We couldn't string a pass together. I mean, Kudus up there, and probably one of his worst games. But I mean, I felt for him in a way. He had no service. There was nothing coming to him. It was hard. At least he was working hard. At least he was trying to make things happen when he got the opportunities to. Bowen obviously always works hard and puts in a good shift. The lovely goal from him as well. I mean, that's the only positive, wasn't it? The Bowen goal. But even that, I mean, that scoreline flattered us, completely flattered us. I mean, it genuinely does. 5-1 makes it look much better than what it was. That could have been 10-0 easily. The bit that's really got me right is that I actually kept my calm during that game for much of it. I usually lose my rag at things like that, as I'm sure you all do, being a West Ham fan or any football fan. You know what I mean? You get the ump and whatever. But I'll tell you what, I got to half time and I started thinking to myself, maybe this is the game plan a little bit. Maybe this is what Moyes was thinking. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll rest my key players for the first half. Let's get through that first half. Let's not get hammered. Let's try and get through it. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was fucking dreadful performance, but I thought in my mind, that's maybe what the game plan is here. See, because what I'd have done if I was David Moyes, I'd have got to half time and thought, right, I've got away with that. We've got away with this. How on earth it's only 1-0? I have no idea, but we have. Right. It's only 1-0. Put out your big guns. Put on Kurt Zouma. Put on Paqueta. Put on Emerson. Put on James Ward-Prowse and go for it. Go for it. Make the big changes. Go for it. But no. Brings out the same fucking team that have just been ripped to shreds. And then he puts on Paqueta when we're 2-0 down. You know, it's like, well, it's game over, Moyes. We're not going to come back from that. I just don't get it. And as I said at the start of this video, I just think it was... I just feel sorry for the fans. I feel so sorry for them. You know, I know a few fans that travelled up there. I mean, I felt, you know, all of us, you know, watching it was awful. But the poor fans that have gone up there, I know a few, as I say. And I mean, I got the team right from earlier in the day, and I was just deflated. I spoke to Dave Walker about it, and I even tell from when I was messaging him, and he was so deflated. You know, we've gone from really feeling good. We lost that game on that selection. You could literally look at that team selection and thought, oh, my God. But because I saw that bench, that's the bit that gave me hope. I thought that's what he's going to do here. He's going to start off this team, rest a few of them up and say, I'll give you, get to half time, and then on the second half, we'll treat that like the game and go for it. Why didn't he do that? What's the fucking excuse? Sick and tired of it. Really, I'm just sick and tired of how crap we are. I've got no depth in our squad whatsoever. No good players. I mean, we've got one decent 11 team and the rest of it is shit. Absolute shit. And a manager that just is fucking clueless at times. Absolutely fucking useless. I mean, what on earth was he thinking? I'll never understand it. Atrocious defending in the second half. We got ripped apart. And they scored 4 more goals in the second half. I mean, our defending was so bad. Ogbonna is absolutely fucking gone. How on earth that player is still playing at West Ham? Don't get me wrong, I love Ange Ogbonna, right? I've loved him. I think he's been a great player, but he's been here far, far too long now. He really has. Far too long. He needs to go now. He's done. He's finished. He can't even run. Looks exhausted. He looks just gone. You see, he can't cope with it. And as I say, the only thing I would say that was the only positive was the Bowen goal, which is kind of obvious, and I'm pleased for him. Obviously, it's always nice to see him keeping in the goals and keeping his form up. And it was a great goal as well. But it was just nothing when it was like consolation, didn't mean anything. Just, that made it 3-1, and then they were carried on and just battered us. And as I say, I genuinely think Liverpool must be laughing their heads off. They must have thought, I can't believe how easy that was. I was watching a preview or another chat, it was Hammer's Chat, wasn't it? I was watching that, and I remember seeing Liverpool fans talking about it and saying, but they were expecting a tough game. They were expecting a hard game, West Ham. They really were thinking, bloody hell, it's going to be a tough draw, this. I mean, they must have been laughing their heads off. Really must have been. And I hate saying this because I don't want to jump on the old bandwagon, but genuinely, I genuinely believe West Ham players and manager or the club, whatever you want to, really it should come from their pockets. Should be paying the fans back for that, give them their ticket money back at the very least, even the travel, really, because they don't deserve that. 5 days before Christmas, travelling all that way up midweek, no trains back. I saw messages on Twitter this morning from people, and people were saying just getting home. You know what I mean? It's fucking 4 a.m. Exhausting. Poor bastards. They've gone all that way in the freezing cold as well. I just feel for people, thinking that we were going to put in a shift, and they do that, and Moyes comes out and starts whinging and whining about bloody fixture congestion. What's he talking about? I just don't get it. And there's no defending of David Moyes in that one. There's none. I could even defend a little bit the Fulham game, right? I did try. I tried my best to. I was obviously fuming like we all were. But then when Moyes came out and said about the sickness bug, we knew about that anyway. From the ex-Norwich employee gave us the update of how bad things had been at the club that week with the sickness bug. And obviously then we responded, didn't we, quite well after that 5-0 loss to Fulham. Freiburg, we played well, and then we played well again against Wolves. Overall, we played a couple of decent performances and a couple of clean sheets. So you kind of slightly excuse it a little bit, that the Fulham result. You kind of thought, well, okay, maybe just draw a line out of that and take it as a bad day. It was a bad virus, and I can just accept it. Can't do it this time though. Just cannot do it. I thought David Moyes slapped the faces of the fans last night. Really did. That was disgusting. All those poor bastards that have travelled up there to watch their team, and he puts out a terrible lineup. I mean, what were the tactics? Just explain that to me. What the fuck were the tactics in that game? What was the game plan? What have they been working on? I don't know. And there was, and do you know what I mean as well? No hunger at all, none. As I say, there's a couple of players put a bit of effort, like you typicals. You know what I mean? Bowen did. I thought Johnson actually did. I actually felt for him a little bit. I know. Don't get me wrong. I think the first goal, he was at fault. He could have closed him down, but I think overall, he was one of the players I watched and thought at least he's trying. I'm not impressed. I'm not saying they're going brilliant, get him starting. I don't think that, but at least he's trying. But yeah, really, really bad day. And you know what? Usually with these videos, when we lose a game or if it hasn't been too great, I always go, look, let's just focus on the next game. Let's just draw a line under this and move on, right? Now, if West Ham were to win against Man United, don't get me wrong, great. I'll be pleased with it. And usually I'd say, well, that would make up for it. If we go and beat Man United, that would make up for it. I don't think it will. I don't think fans will accept it. I don't think fans can accept this. You know what I mean? I don't think you could go then, oh, okay, fine, I can accept we're just throwing away a quarter-final for this. Why? But I'll tell you what he's done, though. I'll tell you what he has fucking done to himself here, Moyes. He's put himself under enormous pressure on Saturday. Because if you're going to rest players and put out a fucking shocking performance in a quarter-final like that, then you fucking better go and fucking beat Man United.